Let's make a healthy version of what I'm calling a Philly cheesesteak made with ground turkey served on a multigrain wrap. One thing about cooking is that I've learned and I love is that you have to add flavor to your food. It's all about flavor. If you don't have any flavor, your food is bland. It may look good. It may even smell good. But when it hits your taste buds, it'll be a great letdown to find out that the food you spent all that time preparing has no flavor. So I believe in the old school way of building flavors. Like building a house. You have your foundation, and when your foundation's solid, you build from there. So what I've done so far is I've added olive oil to my skillet. I'm letting it get hot. And once it gets hot, I'm going to add a tablespoon of butter because I'm going to saute my onions and my peppers. Because like I said, I like flavor, and butter is one of those staple ingredients that adds flavor to anything. Anything, as Paula Deen would say, butter makes everything taste good. So now I'm going to kind of circle around my oils and my butter in my pan. Kind of coat the bottom of my pan here, as you can see. To that, I'm going to add some onion, Vidalia onion, white onion, whatever you prefer. I prefer white. I prefer Vidalia onion because, for one, it's sweeter. I'm going to throw some onion in here. I took already have taken time to chop them up. Basically, what I did was I skinned it, cut it in half, and cut it long ways to make these strips like that. Now I'm going to add some green bell pepper. You can really add any pepper you prefer, but a typical Philly cheesesteak comes with green bell peppers. You can add the red or the orange or the yellow, or they call the stoplight peppers. So I got that in there. To that I'm going to add some mushrooms. I like mushrooms. They're good. They're healthy for you. Since we're making a healthy wrap, may as well have mushrooms. So I'm going to add some mushrooms here. I always want to make sure that you check them. There's nothing going on with them. These are a little darker than normal because I've had them in the refrigerator for a couple days. But normally when you buy your mushrooms, you want to make sure they're kind of nice and bright. You don't want them to be soggy. So we got mushrooms. We're going to put them in here. Add as many as you like, or if you don't like mushrooms, you don't have to add them. So we got our mushrooms in here. We got bell peppers. And we got our onion. And to that, I'm going to add a little minced garlic. You can buy this in any of your grocery stores. And put some garlic in there. Let that cook up a little bit. Also to that, I'm going to add a little fresh ground pepper. Remember, when you're adding your seasonings, you want to start off light and add as you go, because it's better to add than to have to over season your food and find out when it's all good and done that it's over seasoned and you can't enjoy it. I'm just going to turn this around, stir this up a little bit here. Basically what I'm kind of doing right now is I'm sauteing, because I have my heat up high and I have minimal oil. And I'm cooking it fast, so that's another way of the definition of sauteing. So I'm going to let that cook for a few minutes. Because the heat and the oil and cooking it will release your juices from your onion and your green peppers. So that's going to help to add flavor when I get ready to include my ground turkey in a couple minutes. So we have pepper and green peppers. We got onions, mushrooms, fresh ground pepper, and we have minced garlic. And now I'm going to put my butter over here so it's out of the way. Move my mushrooms and my green peppers. And now I'm getting ready to open up my turkey. Just a quick note about when you're working with raw poultry or any type of raw meats, you want to be very careful of cross-contamination. You don't want to get any salmonella floating around. So you want to make sure that you are keeping soapy water available so that you can clean up after you use it, because it's on your hands and it gets on your cutting board and all those different areas. So you don't want to make anybody sick and you don't want to make yourself sick. I'm going to give this another stir. I think I'm going to add a little more olive oil because it looks getting a little dry. Probably about another little less than 1/4 of a cup. I'm going to turn it down just a little bit. One thing about videos, you don't have smell vision, because this is smelling wonderful already. Alright, so now I'm going to take a spoon and I'm going to add my ground turkey. Just slide it in there like that. I'm just going to break it up a little bit. Because we're building flavors. We got our foundation of our peppers and onions and our mushrooms. Now we're on our next level. So we put in our turkey. So just in case you're wondering, you know, some people don't like turkey because they say it's bland and it doesn't have any flavor. So what we're going to do is I'm going to show you how you can add flavor to your turkey. Turkey to me is kind of like tofu. Tofu is like for vegetarians and vegans, they use a lot of tofu for protein. But tofu is one of those items that absorbs whatever you add to it. And turkey tends to do the same thing. If you season it properly, it has a wonderful flavor. So what I'm going to do now, got that going, put that right there, is I'm going to add some garlic powder. I'm sorry, onion powder. I love onion powder. Onion powder is one of my favorite things to season with. And I'm a little heavy-handed with my onion powder because I really like it. You may not like it as much, so use it accordingly to your taste buds. Like I said, it's easier to add more seasoning than it is to over-season and try to remove it. Because once it's in there, it's really hard to get it out. So now we got that going. To that, I'm also going to add some Worcestershire sauce. I'm going to put in the bottom of this video the exact recipe for this. That's about a 5 count or roundabout a tablespoon or so of Worcestershire sauce. Stir it around a little bit. That gives it a nice earthly or meaty flavor to it. Gives the turkey something to grab onto to add some flavor. Also, I'm going to add a little bit of this Grill Mates McCormick's 5 Fiery Red Pepper Seasoning. So I like it to be a little spicy. Some may not like it spicy. You don't have to add it, but I like a little kick when I eat, just a little bit. So I'm going to put quite a bit of that in there. And then to this, I'm going to continue to stir it up. This is a this is a dish that can be done in little or no time. I think right now I'm at about 6 minutes or so. And actually, with a few more turns and I've got stuff flying out of my skillet. But I'm going to let this cook for a couple minutes, cover it up. Because typically when you order a Philly cheesesteak, it's really good. I mean, I love them, but they have a lot of calories and carbs and all those things that we trying to be healthier and not